day soon, I'm gonna be the boss.
And I'm going to teach and empower the next generation.
One day soon, I'll use science to save the planet.
And one day soon, I'll save lives.
Right now, I'm ready to take the first step.
No matter what your goal, choose a pathway at Southern Cross University to transform your future.
G'day and welcome to the National Virtual Expo and to this session on becoming a content creator. I'm your host for this session, Rob Malicki. I'm coming to you today from Garigal Land in Sydney. Super pumped with my guest who's joining us today. Salaj Hinkenda from WA. Mate, thank you for joining me at the National Virtual Expo.
Hey, of course, it's great to be here. It's great to catch up. We filmed quite a while ago, but it's good to see you again and good to be here.
It's really good to have you here, mate. And you know, I was super pumped when you accepted my invitation to come to this event because I think there's a lot of myths around content creation and influencers, but it's also such an awesome, exciting space to operate in. And so I thought you and I, mate, could get into like some of the myths around content creation, what it's all about anyway, and give people some ideas about how to get started in this space. And maybe just to kick us off, Delage, do you get paid for what you do?
I get paid for what I do. I love doing the content creation thing. There's a certain amount of it where I just can't keep uploading videos without getting some pay. Obviously, so I do content for UWA's Instagram, and what they'll do is I'll pitch ideas to the team, or they'll ask me things to do. I'll make those videos. But then I'm also part of a student committee called Venture, which is like about entrepreneurship, startup culture. And those videos are unpaid because I'm their marketing manager. And then that's a student club at the end of the day. So those aren't paid. But anything on UWA's Instagram, and I've been paid in the past for videos as like UGC content.
So this is the thing I think most people, when they hear about, you know, influencers and content creation, they kind of have this picture of, you know, Mr. Beast or Kylie Jenner, like these big one in a billion content creators. But the reality is that you can make like not only just a good amount of money while you're working your way through uni, but you can make a whole career in that kind of like micro influence or micro content creator space, can't you?
You really can. Like, people underestimate, like there's layers to it. Obviously, you have your micro influencers, you have your macro influencers, and I mean, generally speaking, they're kind of determined by how many followers you have. But I actually reached out to this content creator, Amy Lien. She's really popular in Perth, and she does collabs all the time. Like, even if you don't even make like a career out of it, being a micro influencer, I mean, you get a bunch of free stuff, right? You can literally walk into a restaurant, give them promotion, give them some value, you get some value back. It's really easy to get paid deals, and you don't even need a high follow count because user-generated content is such a big thing. I mean, I think Goldman Sachs estimated it would be like a $2 trillion industry within the next like 5-10 years.
It really is true. Like, so I've got a couple of channels. Obviously, choosing your uni it just became a thing, right? Like, I ended up in this whole video content creation space by accident. I mean, I literally was on a university campus one day when I was running another company and did this kind of crappy little YouTube. It's a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago. Threw it up on YouTube, forgot about it, and you know, maybe 18 months later, stumbled across that video again, and it literally had thousands and thousands and thousands of views on it.
Whoa.
I remember thinking to myself, whoa, like, why did that happen? Like, that was a crap video. And in fact, what was the case, Delage, is back then, nobody had done independent content on Australian universities. Like, you went to YouTube, you looked it up. Every single video on every uni was pretty much done by the university themselves. And I remember thinking to myself, that's, well, you know, like if someone's trying to decide where to go to uni, like how can they compare when all the content is just done by the uni itself? So that's why I ended up started doing university videos. They started getting traction, you know, getting tens of thousands of views. And then suddenly I was like, oh, okay, like now that's a thing, right? It actually became the whole choosing your uni, you know, and that was basically just an accident because I'd, you know, done something that I wanted to do.
Well, yeah, I mean, you'll never know if it's gonna work right until you find out.
And how did you end up in it?
Man, I wasn't even I wasn't trying to get into content at the time. I had a vague idea because in high school I was a media student, which, by the way, you really don't need experience or like editing is such a small part of making videos. But then when I got hired by UWA as a student ambassador, I networked with some of the people on the social media and marketing team, and then they put me on and just started asking me to do videos because I'm a student and because I can give I guess something a bit more authentic than what, a staff could do when they haven't been in uni for a while.
You know what? Let's play a couple of your clips, or let's play at least one. There's one that really stands out in my mind, and that's the uni on at 5 p.m.
Oh man, a bit embarrassing.
Let's play this video.
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing on UWA's campus on a Sunday at 5 p.m.?
Oh yeah, look, I mean, I got this test over here. I'm just trying to figure it out. Look, I'm just here for the vibes.
Excuse me, sir. Hey.
What are you doing on campus at 5 p.m. on a Sunday?
Wait, bro, you said campus? Bro,
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was a campus. I just come here every day for the peacocks. Dude, that's crazy.
Dude, are you okay, man?
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing on UWA's campus on a Sunday at 5 p.m.?
Oh, dude, it's funny you asked, man. I'm going on today,
Yo, dude, that's crazy. Man, congrats. Like, what's going on? Like, are you early? Like, what's happening?
Oh, I mean, yeah, she said 10 a.m.
Oh, like today, like 10 a.m. Or was it tomorrow?
No, 10 a.m.
Do the thug shaker. Yeah. Come on. Do the thug shaker.
So I love this clip, mate. And one of the things that jumps out to me, and I think we need to talk about for people who are interested in content, is storytelling, right? Like looking for an opportunity to tell some sort of story. So whether that's, you're a writer, whether you do podcasts or you create video, it's all about the story, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you could tell the same thing over, but the way you say it is like 90% of it. And I mean, you only have like a minute to 2 minutes to capture someone's attention. You really got to make it worth it.
Yeah, I think it's even less than that. Like if we look at that video, the way that you've sort of done the thumbnail and those sort of first seconds as you kind of come into the video, and it's talking about uni at 5 p.m, right? So straight away, you're telling people what the content is going to be about, but you're also hooking them in. Like we talk in content about the hook. Like most people, even if you've been to uni, you're like, well, I haven't been there on a weekend, at 5 p.m. So it starts to tell a story that introduces some curiosity. Like, well, what's this place actually going to be like at that time?
Yeah, literally. And like the content creation was really nice, doing it for UWA. Those ones were actually done on my personal Instagram, because I was literally it's actually started off from this one video that I did called like 8 a.m. Monday Core, and it got like 20K, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things, but I swear like a bunch of people from UWA kept seeing it, and then like we're singing happy birthday to some rando in the video for like 20 seconds, which I don't know how people are watching that for 20 seconds. And she was walking down the street, people would keep saying happy birthday to her for 3 days after. It was hilarious. It's so fun to do.
It is fun. It is fun to do. Actually, can we do one more thing? Can I play one of your UWA clips? Because
yeah, of course.
Like the visual campus, the UWA campus is just magnificent. It's so beautiful. So let me just drop in a video and watch that one just about the UWA environment, because that obviously plays a role. So let's have a look at that.
Performative male study spots. Matcha break.
If I could wait for the time to be sad about it.
And this is the thing, like, so, you know, you can see in that video, it's such a beautiful space to work in. As a content creator, how important do you think that is, like the visual element of where you're working?
I think the visuals, at the end of the day, I think it's like UWA, because it has such great scenery, they push it in a lot of their content because they have a lot of posts about certain locations, which is great. And even better, the one of the videos that I did was a take on the performative males trend, and it was like performative male study spots around campus, and we got to show off some cool spots, but then also like turn it into a fun format, because I know not everyone wants to just look at a slideshow of all the locations on campus, right? They want a little bit of humor involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, something you mentioned before for that, you said, oh, you know, this video only got 20,000 views. Can we talk about that for a moment? Because I think there's this kind of misunderstanding. Everyone sort of thinks that in order to be a content creator, you've got to like go viral, and a piece of content has got to blow up and get millions of views. But that's just absolutely not the case, is it?
It really isn't, right? Like, because there's so many routes you can go with content creation. Look, if you want to be an influencer, sure, virality is important. And at the end of the day, being an influencer doesn't mean you're going to make a living. I think it's less than 5% of content creators that even make money being a content creator, or sorry, making a living off of it. And most content creators don't make their money off of Instagram or TikTok. They make their money off of brand deals, UGC, and I think the biggest one recently, there's a big shift from creators to becoming business owners, and then making a brand that you can advertise for free at large links. You don't need to have a big following or anything like that. One thing that came to mind was this event directory called Club, and they got like thousands of followers, but then they had like a massive event, and a lot of that marketing was just on Instagram.
Yeah. I think one of the things that's really critical for people to think about is what they actually want to talk about. You know, because if you want to become like a traditional influencer and like a famous kind of face, and you want to make money that way, you know, you're doing makeup, right? You might get provided a whole heap of free products. You might want to, you know, spruik products, and maybe even get paid for that. But at the end of the day, if somebody's paying you, they kind of own you, right? Like, you are literally putting your face, your identity on that product. So that thing better be bloody good. Otherwise, literally, you might be making money. But in fact, it might not be a great experience for the people who end up buying that product. So do you want that associated with you for a quick buck? So, yeah, so literally, like, mate, you're working in university space. Like, that's a really high-end, good, reputable thing that you're helping to promote with your image.
I mean, I've been, like, the association's actually been really important in my head, because I still don't know which direction I fully want to go in. At the end of the day, I think I'm a business student at heart and a media student second. So I think I would want to create a nice channel and eventually sell something. Probably not a course or anything like that. There's actually one of my friends, her name's Davina, and she's got like 3,000 on her own personal Instagram. And she was literally telling me, like, so, like, she was looking at this philosophy where you have, like, multiple content pillars, and all her videos, you can just tell what she's doing, whether that's hair, hair, makeup, nails, like, that kind of stuff, and then she gets so many brand deals. Like, if you know where you're going, if brands like you, they're just going to give you brand deals, they're going to give you money, and obviously it takes time to get there. I still don't know what I want to post. Like, I've done skit content that's done, like, decently well, gotten me followers, but then I don't know if I want to be known for that. It's a hard balance. Once you get there, it's great.
That is the key thing, isn't it? It's because if you're just sort of thinking about money, and if you're just doing, like, you know, maybe you do something and you create a piece of content and it works, so you do more of that, of course, because, you know, obviously if something's worked well, you're like, I'll do more of that. But to some extent, like, you become what you create. So you know, if you're doing something that maybe isn't really you, and you keep doing more and more of it, and you kind of become that, like, you got to be really careful too, because you know, you actually don't want to become something that you're not, if that makes sense. You really got to, you know, stay in your own shoes.
You do. Like, when I've posted so much content, like my content on my account doesn't get as many followers because it's a lower view count. But then when it's posted on UWA, that's getting minimum 30,000 people watching it. And when that happens, people like, this is gonna sound crazy. I had two people run to me on our uni's open day asking for my autograph because I was on like UWA content. I was also at the time I managed to get on the front cover of the course guide. But you get recognized for what you post because no matter what, your followers are gonna look at it. They're gonna think that they're gonna be like, wow, this person's making content. They're making skit content, or they're making Jesse Miyadi is one of the biggest content creators on our campus. He's like literally risen up to like 20,000, and he gets recognized all the time for his like Indonesian skit videos.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, I think that kind of appeals to people, like, oh, you know, getting recognized by people. And it is kind of cool. You know, like it happens to me now. Anytime I go to a uni campus, people literally stop me and be like, hey, you that uni video guy? And like, yeah, part of your ego goes like, oh, it's kind of, it's nice, I feel special.
Yeah.
But that's also because, you know, I do what I believe in. You know, like I'm creating content about something I believe in. And I think if you are thinking about going into this space, like do something that you care about.
Oh, it has to be. Yeah.
It has to be, mate, doesn't it?
Because, I mean, it's a labor of love, right? You can't, because, I mean, look, there's a lot of content creation that isn't paid, right? I'm in a very lucky situation that I'm an ambassador for my uni. But if you're not and if you want to start on, there's a lot of laborious hours. Like, I work multiple jobs, and I remember I used to edit till midnight trying to get a video out every night because I was so into it. It was such big enjoyment, and it's not going to look like that for everyone. I just have a lot of work, but if you're not into it, you're going to burn out so quickly. I've been burnt out like twice, and I haven't even been posting on my personal long. You really have to enjoy what you're doing, otherwise it's just going to kill you.
Yeah, and look, people have to understand that there is a lot of work involved. Like to edit a good video can take a couple of hours, you know, to sit down there and you're trying to get the fonts right and the positioning and the timing. This actually is quite time consuming. And so once again, if you're creating content that you don't care about, you know, like you get, the number of like DMs that I've had from, you know, weird internet brands offering me watches and shirts and stuff like that. Like, honestly, you can pay me $500 for that stuff. I don't want to have to spend the time creating a nice piece of content about something I don't care about. You've got to be really careful about getting sucked into that world. Because when you do stuff that you care about, I know you feel this way, yeah, then you're there till midnight. Like you're just like, oh, I want to make this, I've got this funny thing, this like funny gag to tell, and you're happy to spend the time on it. So talking about stuff that you care about is just critical.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's fun, and also like there's a lot of proactivity involved because when you start on content, oh man, it's so hard to. It's a big like slope, and then it gets easy because you need to learn how to record good videos for starters, right? You need to know your angling, rule of thirds, you need to know where people's eyes are placed, and then you learn like a bunch of random things like transitions. I watched a video that like changed the psychology to me on how like sound effects work in a video. Like, but then the first like 15 videos you make are a bit scary, and then after it just becomes so streamlined. But you need to be able to have that passion to get past that.
Let's talk about getting started. All right.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I want to get to that in just one moment because we've been sort of into brand and doing things you care about, and obviously, like you and I, mate, have got something distinctive about us, right? Like for you, the hair, the glasses, that's kind of like your look, right?
Thank
you. For me, obviously the hat. In fact, mate, normally your hair's you got a bit more volume in there. What's going on?
I usually do. I actually have it tied up. I've been a bit busy over the last 3 days, and then I wanted to do it up for today, but just didn't have the time.
It's a lot of work, but mate, the thing that I know is like that is who you are, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have to have something distinctive about you. I mean, it's gonna sound brutal, but at the end of the day, if people can't recognize you for something, you're just gonna be forgotten, right? I love having my hair. Usually, I have a mullet down to here, and it. I mean, believe it or not, looks all right, and people recognize me for that. But if you don't have something to stand out, it's just going to be forgotten. You're just another person.
So what I think is interesting, right? So I've been wearing my hat for 30 years. You know, like I'm an Akubra guy long before I created content. It's kind of who I am. And honestly, like for the first 10 or 15 years of my career, and that was, content aside, I still wore my hat everywhere. It just was who I was. But now it's funny that after all this time, this has become the personal brand. So whether I'm going to a professional conference with my industry peers, people see this, they know who it is, or whether it's doing content, it's the same. So I think once again, however you want to present yourself, it's got to be authentic to who you are. So when you say, and I think this is something that you probably agree with too, mate, but when you say like you've got to have something distinctive, like it could just be your colours, right? It could just be the brand colour. Like these are our brand colours. You'll see me all throughout this expo. You see me wearing the same brand colours. It could be something that you wear. It could be something that you do, like a mannerism or something that you kind of repeat. Yeah. It's just got to be something that's distinctive, but something that is who you are, not just something that you put on. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, you're right, and it doesn't even need to be your looks. It can be your mannerisms. I mean, if you're recording in the same place, like I really want to start having my background be a little bit more prominent. It's much easier than you think.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes it sort of sticky. So in psychology, and content is a lot about psychology. We're trying to invoke curiosity. We're trying to invoke feelings in people, because when you make people feel something, they'll connect not only with you but with your content.
Of course.
Without going too far down that, let's come back to that like getting started stuff, Delage. What do you reckon if somebody's interested in getting started? Because you don't start making content and then suddenly have like checks coming in.
Yeah.
So where do people start?
Look, ideally, I love being one of my uni student ambassadors. The job's fun. I mean, I love doing campus tours for the high school kids, because I was a high school kid once. I mean, I think I'm an unc now, but through that, I mean, I got to make content, and the social media team taught me like a lot. They gave me a lot of assistance. Like I could use their microphones. They would help me film. If you can get into a role like that with your uni, because I actually think it's very beginner friendly. And a lot of people don't do it because they're not proactive enough. If you can get into that, that's like your ideal world, because you're already getting paid to do content straight away, which not a lot of people can say for themselves. If you can do that, perfect. But honestly, I'll just say post, because the difference between someone who posts like here and posts like so much, it isn't about fancy editing. Like it's someone who's successful in posting, someone who isn't. It's not about fancy editing. It's not about like the psychology per se. It's the knowledge and experience with reels, because eventually you find out what works. You find out what a good hook structure looks like. You'll find out what your outliers are, and you'll find out how to keep your retention going from like A to B, how many people are watching your video throughout. You just need to keep trying. It's literally so much repetition, and then like there is an analysis as well. Like you analyze your graphs and everything.
There's a lot of truth in that, right? And backing up to what you sort of said about starting by getting into it with your uni. So I've met content creators across unis all across Australia, and the story is it can be similar. Like either it can be somebody that's really passionate about content, like you, who's already been doing it, has been learning the craft, and then sort of steps into that university space in order to continue to develop and everything. But I've also met content creators who literally started from zero with their university, started as a student ambassador, and then started getting involved in some content creation, and now doing like super well. So that's a totally legitimate pathway.
It is. And like, it's actually really easy. I know this is going to be shown to so many schools, and I mean, for all the high schoolers, I mean, you guys have heard of clubs, and the clubs are such an easy way to do a somewhat like qualified job, because I mean, you're working for free for starters, so not many people are going to work for free because they want to work part-time, but it's also a really good chance to get your foot in the door. Like I am my marketing manager for my club. I got to learn how to do content through them. I literally delegate to a team to make content for the club. If you just do that, if you just find the right people, it's so easy. You can literally just fall into it accidentally.
Let's drop in a clip from your work with Venture, because you're doing some really nice work with them too. So let's drop that in now.
If you want 7.5K equity-free seed funding, come join our Venture Up program.
We give you an access of funding, mentor and interns. We are welcoming all ideas. Make sure that you are a student of UWA or alumni of UWA.
And if you want proof,
we took our business from 0 to 100K in revenue through Venture in few months.
Application closed on 27th of April. Spots are limited. Link in the bio.
This is such a great example, Delage. You've gotten into content creation working for your university, and like literally any business doing business needs to be doing more content. Like hands down, everybody from like the cafe at the end of the street through to mega businesses, everybody needs to be creating more content because it's how we communicate these days. So I feel like there's this massive opportunity out there for literally anyone watching here to like become a creator, whether it's a creator like under their own brand, at I am not Delage, or whether it's like actually starting to do it for an organisation. Because look at like you're saying, you put up a piece of content up for UWA, it's viewed like 30,000 times. That's massive.
I mean, yeah, there's so many people wanting to post. There's this person who's like, I'm watching him grow because he's on he just hit 1,000, and his name's like Anuka the Ace, I think, and he's a content creator. He's not getting paid to do these collaborations, but he's going to restaurants and cafes and just like reviewing their food. And then I think he's even started doing collab posts now. Like,
yeah.
All you need to do is show that the need's there, because most people don't know that content can help them out. You just start doing random videos there. People are going to go. Eventually, people are going to be like, wow, can I pay you to do this? Can I pay you to bring publicity to where I work? It's so easy.
Yeah, it's literally just about doing more. And when you're hesitating about I've put out some content that is just so terrible, and it gets like literally 10 views. And then I've had content that's like literally been viewed hundreds of thousands of times. So I haven't hit 1 million yet. I'd love to hit 1 million.
Hey, goals.
The number doesn't really matter. What matters is that you're constantly learning. And the only way to learn is just like you said, Delage, you got to make mistakes. You got to make a crap piece of content and post it, and it to tank, and for you to not care, because like who cares? It just the world moves on.
And can I even add to that? You were talking about like posting bad content. Like I've posted videos I've just thought, wow, they look so horrible, and I'll delete them. And which isn't like the best. I even filmed a video the other day. I mean, it was I hated it. I never posted it, but Instagram actually made it really easy now. There's this thing called trial reels, and I've been like using the heck out of that to just like test things, because trial reels only get shown to non-followers. So you can just make a new account, or even your current account, chuck out a trial reel, post it when the Americans are awake. I literally post them at 12 a.m. so that no Australians are going to see them until I post it back onto my main account. And then there's no embarrassment, because you're literally showing it to people who will never meet you in person. It's great.
Yeah, I like that, because I think that fear of judgment really holds people back. And let's face it, that's not fear of judgment about creating content. That's fear of judgment in our lives. Like the amount of shit we don't do simply because we're too afraid that Mrs. Smith up the road or Mrs. Smith's daughter is going to take the piss out of us. Like it's just not a great way to live life.
Literally. And the judgment is like, it's a two-sided coin. I get judged all the time now, but I get judged for the best things. Like people will come up to me like, wow, you've been on all this like UWA content. Wow, you're the guy working like 5 different jobs at the same time. You're all over uni. You are doing all this cool stuff. Like not many people can say that. At the end of the day, like you might not realize you're probably in like the top 5-10% of people who are putting an effort at school and possibly uni just by being on a webinar like this, right? Like just keep posting, and then people are going to judge you and be like, wow, like this guy's putting himself out there. That's impressive. That's amazing. And once you start being successful, it's just a complete turnaround.
Yeah. To some extent, like I think you've actually got to tune out both though. Like you've got to tune out the negativity if you've done something bad. But to some extent, you also have to be very careful about when you get that kind of acclamation and the positive feedback.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
That can actually feed your ego, and that's not a healthy thing either. So I reckon to some extent, you've actually got to you got to stay and do the thing that you want to do, that you care about, deliver your value. And then sometimes, and here's an example, and like I've done content that I've thrown up and I've been like, oh, I didn't think I did my best job there. And it hasn't gotten a lot of views. But I'll still get DMs about that piece of content months later, because some person has stumbled across it and been like, that really helped me to make my decision. like, or help me out, or they thought it was funny or whatever. So you never know what's going to work, and as long as you stay true to yourself with it, then you've got nothing to be ashamed of, right?
Yeah, literally. And actually, I think you really put in a good ethos when you said you have to tune out the positive content, because I think that the positive feedback, because I think that goes everywhere without saying. And it might sound counterproductive. It's great to do things for other people and feel good that people admire you. But I'm actually having this problem now. I'm in my final year of uni. My first 2 years, I was a weapon. Every night, I was up till 12 making like different projects. And that's not just content. That's a bunch of things. Internships. I've done like 3 internships by second year. But then I hit my third year. People are recognizing me a lot. I become somewhat of an authority. And then I just I feel like I climbed to the peak, and I just sat there. Even now, I'm not as productive as I used to be. You have to realize that you're doing it for yourself, not for other people's admiration, and it doesn't stop at their admiration. You just keep going. You keep rising. You keep getting better.
Mate, I love that. It's the patience, isn't it? It's the long game.
It is.
You know, you're not going to post. I mean, you might post your first video, and maybe that gets like 1 million views just by chance because you did exactly the right thing. Chances are it gets a handful or a couple of hundred or something like that. But you just got to be in there and being patient and waiting for the results to come over time, and just keep learning, improving. Yeah. Hey, Delaj, it's been super nice chatting with you here at the National Virtual Expo. Where do people find you if they want to look you up?
Man, I am not Delaj. I'm sure that might have been there sometimes. That's my personal Instagram. I'm trying to grow it still. I'm also I'm a UWA student. University WA, you'll see some of my content there, hopefully. I've been posting more. I've actually got a collab coming up next week where our EMAS, Electronic Music Appreciation Society, is going to teach me how to DJ. That'll be pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I want to make a shout out to the University of Western Australia. I mean, awesome institution, but also literally the most beautiful campus in Australia, in my view. So amazing. I reckon if you're out west and you're looking to study at a great uni, then UWA is an awesome choice. And look, I'll put all those descriptions and links down in the description below. Delaj Hinkita, thanks for joining me at the National Virtual Expo.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing to be here. I hope that everyone watching gets some benefit out of this.
Actually, Matt, and can people reach out to you? They've got questions about getting into this. Can they DM you?
Yeah, of course. Hit me up. Give me a message. Ask me. I'd love to help out if I can.
Thanks, mate. Well, I hope you got something out of this session. And if you have any questions at all, you can head to choosingyouruni.com and ask Lumen. Lumen is your AI guide who knows about every university, every pathway, every option that we've talked about throughout this virtual expo. And Lumen is available to talk to you 24/7. So it's ready when you are.